There's some massive beef going on between Tim Pool and Patrick Bet-David, and Patrick Bet-David just gave a response on his live stream that we're going to check out here in 1 second. But if you don't know what's going on between Tim Pool and PBD over on Valuetainment, here is what it is. So Tim Pool tweeted this out in response to Valuetainment announcing that they have hired Chris Cuomo to join Valuetainment as kind of, talent for them, I believe. Tim Pool responds to this Patrick Bet-David announcement and says, huge F up, Chris Cuomo faked being in CV lockdown. His brother is that word there that I can't read, but he's a bad person. No redemption arc. PBD goes CNN is very disappointing. Now, Tim Pool is a notorious baiter on Twitter. I don't believe this to be bait. A lot of people did really agree with him, including myself somewhat. Now, we're going to get into PBD's response here in 1 second, but whenever I did see this news, I thought the same thing as Tim Pool. I thought this was a huge mistake on Valuetainment on Patrick Bet-David's part, but we'll have to see how everything plays out, and I'll show you the response here in 1 second. But yeah, a lot of people were saying, well, I mean, this obviously is a reaction that a lot of people were having as well. Tim Pool calling PBD CNN because of a panelist. Interesting, and then there's a picture of Jack Murphy. I think PBD is attempting to cross the aisle and unite across party lines because he likes Cuomo as a person. This is a mistake. Cuomo lied repeatedly to the American people and now pretends like he never did or said certain things. Could not agree more. The Cuomo snakes just saw the wind change direction. 100%. That's exactly my thoughts as well, especially when I first saw this announcement. But we do have Patrick Bet-David himself responding to Tim Pool. He says, Tim Pool, I trust capitalism. One of these days, the market will wake up and realize what our vision was all along. I'm extremely comfortable being misunderstood before the market validates our vision. I respect your impatience with our vision. In the meantime, keep kicking ass. And this wasn't the only response, but people were, they were not happy about this. They were not happy about Valuetainment bringing on Chris Cuomo. They were not agreeing with Patrick Bet-David whatsoever. They were agreeing with Tim Pool, as was I. So anyway, let's get into the actual response from Patrick Bet-David this morning on the Valuetainment YouTube channel, or actually on the PBD podcast YouTube channel on the PBD podcast. Let's check out this response here live.
Hey, Pat. This is yesterday. So the announcement was made. Go a little lower and just show the Tim Pool tweet first, if you don't mind. Zoom in. So Tim Pool, the announcement is made with Chris Cuomo. Huge F up. Chris Cuomo faked being in COVID lockdown. His brother is a murderer. No redemption arc. PBD goes CNN is very disappointing, right? Now, this is after, if you can show the picture at the bottom with us showing that Chris Cuomo joins Valuetainment. So go up and show what I responded to Tim Pool. My response was,
and by the way, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this was a huge mistake by Patrick Bet-David and Valuetainment? Let me know before you hear the response here, because I want to know what you guys' initial knee-jerk reaction was to the news. Are you more on the Tim Pool camp like I was, or are you more on the Patrick Bet-David camp like, just wait, let's see how our vision carries out. We have a plan for all of this stuff. Do you trust him, or do you what do you think is going on here with this Chris Cuomo hire?
Tim, I trust capitalism. One of these days, the market will wake up and realize what our vision was all along. I'm extremely comfortable being misunderstood before the market validates our vision. I respect your impatience with our vision. In the meantime, keep kicking ass. Here's Tim Pool. The guy is very good at what he does. Sincerely, he's very good at what he does. Incredible communicator. And the way he communicates, it's very he doesn't lag 8 minutes of getting to the point. He just kind of goes, vroom. He goes like this. And he's just very, very good. We had him over at the house. One day we had on the podcast. I invited him over to the house. Afterwards, we fed his entire people. We sat down. We talked. Really enjoyed talking to this guy. And he invited me to one of his events that we went to. And I think we were there together, right? What a great experience.
Yeah, in Miami.
What a great experience.
Great event.
He did it live.
So I have no comments on what to say about Tim Pool. Tim, keep kicking ass. You're phenomenal at what you do. I respect your game. Let me kind of paint a picture of Chris Cuomo. Here's how I work.
If you enjoy content like this, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Since I was a kid, being raised in a manipulative gamesmanship environment of two parents divorcing and trying to see which kid is going to go to which side, and then escaping Iran, going to a refugee camp, coming to the States, going to the army, trying to figure out a way to get along with everybody while I'm Middle Eastern in the army. Everybody's black, Hispanic, white, and Puerto Rican. And who the hell is this Iranian guy? A lot of them had never met an Iranian before because they're from South Dakota, North Dakota, whatever all these other places are. I had to always watch and kind of size people up. I've been in a business of sizing people up for a long time. Then I go into sales, and then I go into insurance. And in the insurance business, you have to watch everybody because everybody's like, oh, you're so phenomenal, and flattery, and you learn about flattery bullshit, and you're so this and you're so that. No problem. Okay, sounds good. But then you go into insurance and you build a business, and you start working with people and you see some people just want to use you and take advantage of you, and that's no problem. You learn that as well. And then eventually, some of the people you thought were going to be your best guys that were fully loyal to you, they backstab you. Some of the people you thought were the ones that would never would backstab you ended up being your most loyal guys. And the market's going to confuse you a lot. This is how the market works. You can't, because you're not God. You can't look at somebody, know exactly what that person's going to be doing. Trump fired God knows how many different people. Elon Musk fired God knows how many different people. Bezos, a couple years ago, lost his entire C-suite executive team, CFO. There is nobody in the world that knows how to pick 100% of them right. Nobody. Having said that, let me bring it back. My first conversation when I watched Chris, we've criticized Chris a lot on this podcast. And if Chris comes from somewhere where he's going to go back to doing that, we did it on the podcast this week live when we were with Candace. I'm like, dude, are you trolling? Are you really saying we don't need an ID? What are you talking about, right? When you're saying you don't need an ID and Candace and all this stuff. We're having this civil conversation. We're having this debate. My experience with him behind closed doors has been great. He's very good to the kids. He's very respectful to my wife. I watch how he is around the girls in our office. Never above and beyond. He's very civil. The other day we were together till 5:30 in the morning. His wife's like, "What?"
Oh wait, I have to keep pausing. He's taking a ton of time to get to the point here, but I have to keep pausing because PBD's people always hit me for copyright. I don't know what's up with that, PBD. These are not, this is fair use stuff, but it is nice of him, even though he's responding. And Tim Pool, like I said, he's a baiter, right? He's going to be on Twitter. He's going to be trying to bait out some engagement. He's going to be engagement farming. That's obviously what he's doing here. I don't think he completely turns on PBD because he had one bad hire, or at least on the surface, it looks like a bad hire. I don't think he's doing that, but it's really nice of PBD to not, I don't think he picks up on the fact that Tim Pool's a baiter on social media, but it's nice of him to not attack him, right? Like not like go and cause this like nuclear war, but be very respectful and say, look, Tim Pool is great at what he does. He's vastly misunderstanding our vision here for Valuetainment and for, the PBD brand. He's vastly misunderstanding. We have a plan for all this. We have a plan for Valuetainment. Just wait and see, and I know, I'm sorry I have to keep pausing, but that's just what happens when I react to Patrick Bet-David stuff.
Tell me, you guys getting home 5:30. How much have you guys been drinking? Babe, I'm getting home at 5:30 and we've had 0 drinks all night. And with 25 of us.
Yeah, nobody.
So it's like, who the hell gets home at 5:30 and doesn't drink? This is who we are. And in life, Tim, this is the one thing you need to realize. There's 2 different types of people, okay? There are those who impose their values on others and change them. And then there are those who have stronger values that impose on others. If you don't like my values and principles are not changing. This is who I am. I'm not breaking. If you come into my environment and that makes you feel uncomfortable, you will not be in this environment long term. Meaning, if you don't do respect well, if you don't respect the women in the environment well, if you're somebody that drinks in front of me and you lose control and your lips are like this, if you're somebody that does drugs, if you're somebody that acts like a clown, if you're somebody that can't do debate, you're just not going to like me. So this relationship right off the bat will not work out if you're somebody that does that. That's the reason why I think Don Lemon and Elon Musk had a falling out, because Elon is like straight up, this is what I'm all about, bro. What do you think Elon's sitting there and other people are changing Elon's mind? No, Elon is imposing his beliefs on others and is getting others to question themselves.
Not to mention the fact that Don Lemon straight up tried to snake out Elon Musk, even though he was going to pay him millions and millions of dollars to just post his show on his platform. He just snakes him out. And it's crazy. Like, the clout world is crazy, dude. People will literally do anything for clout, including miss out on millions and millions of dollars. Like, I'm seeing nowadays, it's a trend for women to like post when Drake DMs them on Instagram and like tries to like hit them up. They're posting the screenshot of Drake DMing them instead of just taking the opportunity. Like, you have the opportunity that every single girl in the world wants. You have a mega millionaire DMing you, wanting to take you out on a date. You have the opportunity that every single girl wants. Like, just take the opportunity and forget the clout. But the clout world has just ruined these people's brains, dude.
This doesn't mean that Elon walks on water. This doesn't mean that Elon is 100% right. It just means the guy's convictions about his beliefs are stronger than other people's convictions. That's why he's changing the world. We are that way. Our relationship with Chris, having people here, the reason why I'm kind of having this conversation and bringing folks from sides that we disagree with is because we need more debate. The moment more of us keep talking and we're all agreeing on everything, the conversation is over. the more you have people around you that you're not and you're debating and people are watching. There's a reason why the live that we did with Candace and Chris was a #1 live worldwide that day. Why? Because the world is saying, I don't want echo chambers. I'm sick of it. And there's echo chambers for Republicans. There's echo chambers for Democrats. There's echo chambers for independents. There's echo chambers for LeBron James fans. There's echo chambers for Michael Jordan fans.
If you enjoy content like this, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
There's echo chambers for every single topic, and I value debate. That's why we're excited about this partnership. How it's going to work out long-term, short-term, I have no clue. Chris may screw up. Chris may make a mistake and it doesn't work out. Chris may use us and go do something else. I don't think he's going to do that because we've had some incredible conversations together. We've had some phenomenal, there's like a brotherhood when we're together. You feel it. It's not an act. Off camera, you just feel that moment that we have. But if he values that, we'll be running together for a very long time to come. If he doesn't, I'm okay with that. Okay, we're not compromising our vision. We're going to roll for a very, very long time. And when I pray, and I'm asking God, bring the right people here that help us unify America. Simple. It doesn't mean help us make more money. Help us unify America, and we need the right leadership team. That's our vision, and that's my reaction to it. And Tim, I want you to criticize us as much as you want. I welcome it. I respect it. I appreciate it, because if we have any kind of blind spots, I want to see it, but it doesn't mean you're right. The market's going to determine who's right or wrong. And
I respect that. I respect that response. I do. The more that I hear him talk about why, the reasoning behind Patrick Bet-David hiring Chris Cuomo, the more I hear him talk about why, it makes more sense. He wants to have debate. I like that. He values he values having debate on his show, on his platforms. I like that. He actually looked at the numbers of the Candace Owens versus Chris Cuomo debate on the Valuetainment channel, and he saw that it was the most viewed live, at the time, or whatever he said. So he's using like an actual statistic, a factual based evidence for why he hired Chris Cuomo. Like, he's just looking at the numbers and saying, oh, people like this. Let's do more of this. I can get that. I can get behind that. I understand that. So the more I hear him talk about it, the more I understand why he's doing the things that he's doing. But I still, you have to, like, and Patrick Bet-David understands this as well. I'm sure he expected a ton of backlash when he hired Chris Cuomo. I'm sure he understands that, because Patrick Bet-David has formed an audience around people who agree with the ideas that he also has. So of course, when you hire someone like Chris Cuomo, the reason why you hire Chris Cuomo for debate is because he disagrees with everything that Patrick Bet-David stands for, basically. Like Tim Pool was saying, it seems like he's going CNN with it. So of course Patrick Bet-David is going to expect a lot of backlash, but this could turn out to be a really good opportunity for Patrick Bet-David and for his brand if he plays the cards right. I don't see this as Patrick Bet-David going CNN or going woke or anything like that. I see this as Patrick Bet-David thinking a little bit bigger than everybody else and not trying to just state opinions that everybody already agrees with in his space, but bringing people in to have actual interesting conversations, actual interesting debates that could actually raise the consciousness of the country as a whole. Let me know in the comments if I'm, looking into this too much. Maybe it is just Patrick Bet-David going woke. Maybe Tim Pool is just completely right. Valuetainment has gone full CNN. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this whole situation. What do you think about what Tim Pool had to say on this Patrick Bet-David, hiring Chris Cuomo situation? And what do you think about Patrick Bet-David himself's response to Tim Pool and the whole situation? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys on the next one.